All right. Let me see. I think we are live. It shows that I think you guys can hear me. Can you guys just press one in the chat? If you guys can hear me, just press one in the chat here. So if you guys hear some noise in the background, that's just my daughter playing Roblox here. Welcome to the Black Brain Trust open chat number 68 election day discussion slash open chat. So we want to basically kind of just preface and preview what to expect here on election day this coming Tuesday. There's been a lot of discussions about, you know, what candidate is going to best suit, our agenda moving forward here. There's been a lot of talk around YouTube, particularly the Black sector, with regards to this. The Brain Trust has long espoused its position. And, again, the hiatus is for a number of reasons. It's nothing bad. And all, like, again, in all actuality, we're kind of working to retool a lot of things. Um, I've just had a lot of personal stuff going on, a lot of, much as like a lot of brothers have, because it's just a hectic time. So please bear with us. However, I think this is a pertinent discussion to be had going into Tuesday. Um, there's a number of things that could potentially play out here. So I'm being very keen and cautious, and my eyes are wide open about this. You know, there's a lot of brothers. Just during this downtime, I still communicate with the brothers from the Brain Trust. We all keep in communication. So we've had phone discussions, and then there's been discussions had on MOT's platform. And then there's been other discussions that have actually been had in other spaces as well. So this is something that is on the minds, particularly of Black men. Um, I would say that there's a special premium being placed on our vote. This is my one of my observations about this particular election cycle. Um, and so, yeah, we want to just have a bit of a deep dive on what we could potentially be looking at here come Tuesday. I know MOT is going to be joining us here. He's going to be providing a map with regards to what he's projecting to be the voting results come election day. Let me do this here. Let me just take a minute to acknowledge everyone that's here. Salute to all of you, man. Um, Good to know that we're still on your minds. Jay Shine and Jay Prophet, Sorabadayu, AO, Excalibur, Barrow, Black Scorpion, Mr. Pretty Tony, Shatterpoint, Mufasa, Bob Brown, DJ Moss, Kareem Austin, D. Scott, DJ B-Side, Elsie Lay, Miss Raining Woman. Welcome, all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let me do this here. Dre, welcome, brother. So, yeah, um, that's largely what this open panel live stream election day discussion is going to be about. I'm going to try to squeeze some time in tomorrow to get a cannabis live stream going. There was a very interesting article that actually it was a video clip uh, that I had received. Maybe it was like Monday. It was earlier this week about the potential for cannabis to treat COVID, and this was on Good Morning America. Very, very, very significant um, piece of news there to talk about, because if you dig back into the Black Brain Trust catalog, there's probably two live streams where if you type in cannabis and COVID, something will pop up. So Yeah, I would say once again, the TBBT was a bit on the mark with regards to hemp and cannabis, and potentially its use for treating something like COVID conditions. Um, all right, so let's do this. Hold on, give me just 1 second here, babe. I wasn't talking to you. Just a sec, babe. Sorry, I got my daughter's right here. Let's see here. I thank you all for popping in and you know letting us know where we still have some relevance. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So, like I said, man, I want to, just because things have gotten so hectic on my end, I really do need to take time to really kind of curate the channel going forward, and pivot it in a way where it just basically builds off of what we've already established in the 2+ years that this channel's existed. So I appreciate you all for being patient with us, and you know still continuing to support and contribute to what we're doing here. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Engineering cannabis. That's why I was thinking tomorrow I want to try to set aside a time, get a lot of articles together about what's been happening in the cannabis industry. Um, because you're absolutely right. My thought here is that um, legalization is going to happen with this next administration, regardless of who it is. From an economy standpoint, it has to happen. Things just don't look good unless we open up new lines of industry. So it's something that is a must. It has to be done. It must be done. Absolutely has to be done. So that's something we need to circle back around to look at um, why this needs to be done and where we can position ourselves. That's always really sort of been our take on the whole cannabis thing. Was positioning ourselves for legalization. If there is, well, not in addition to that, pushing for reparative measures. Mufasa, do you see the value of my storefront going up or down when legalization happens? Going up, going up. It's particularly dependent upon how you leverage legalization, depending on how you leverage it, but absolutely going up. It's like with anything, new industry opens up, value goes up. There's so much stigma around it that the more the more legislation says it's okay, then the more people perceive it to be okay, right? Because legislation then says to them, "Oh yeah, this is something that's totally available to you that could help you," right? And then all of the marketing and stuff kicks in because now the companies say, "Hey, well, let us market our products to people." So we profiled companies like Papa and Barkley, for example. It's a cannabis company that's basically their products are tailored to boomers and senior people, and their marketing is genius. It works. Hey, Lukas, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
Good, 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 man. Well, just surviving. As I said, man, I dealt with well, I'm still dealing with it because I haven't gotten any sort of insurance payout or anything as of yet. But yeah, I was dealing with a stolen vehicle, man, a couple weeks ago. Somebody jacked my truck from in front of the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, just that, and then just in addition to just other stuff, man. My head's been elsewhere. Kind of threw a lot of other things off, man. Just yeah, just crap.
Yeah, nah, I feel you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel
But
you. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. But you still got to
Okay.
find time, to squeeze in, other things. I do have a little one also to, look after and all that stuff. So yeah, just life, life, and the interesting thing
Yeah,
about it
nah.
is that we'll see how much either easier or more hectic it gets as of this Tuesday. With the voting and everything. I opted not to mail in.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing
Uh-oh.
anything.
Okay, I'm not sure if Mufasa can hear me.
All right, now I just got back hearing you right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think you
So
might
I'm gonna
be
have to
coming
turn
in
my
and out.
mobile hotspot on.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask you why you thought that the value would go up, because that's
Um,
one of the
just
biggest
just
things. I was thinking it would go down because this is the way right now when you're on the market to get a dispensary, the biggest issue is the scarcity of the licenses. But
mhm.
my fear is that when the licenses become available to everybody, then the
Mhm.
value of the license drops because and you know what I mean? Because now investors can get in, it's easier to buy. Um, Permits may go up, dropping the value of current businesses.
It would really just depend upon the legislation, right? What the legislation stipulates in terms of what legalization would entail. So, perfect example is that what entity is going to basically oversee its enforcement? Is it the DEA? Is it the Food and Drug Administration? Is it the Department of Agriculture? Right. So, depending upon who is overseeing it, that's going to really make a lot of determinations. Perfect example is let's look at hemp. Okay, hemp uh, is basically under the Department of Agriculture. Okay, so since it's under the Department of Agriculture, it, it's it, it's relatively easy to get into the hemp business. Okay, but if we are talking cannabis and cannabis is say under the Food and Drug Administration, then there may be more strict stipulations in terms of like how it's regulated and permits and licensing and all that. So when we're talking about national legalization, it's going to be under a governmental department as opposed to what we currently have now where the states largely oversee it and then they'll assign it to someone. Okay, so the states have a way of doing it, but once there's a national mandate, then that the states then are largely going to be subservient to the national mandate, and then what they do is they can adjust their regulations based on the national mandate, largely. So it really just depends. It really depends on how the nation is going to go about legalization. Okay, and I see. Okay, wait, he's back. He dropped off there for a second. I think that's he was dropping. I think you were jumping on the hotspot there.
Yeah, well, no, I really
Oh,
just pushed the wrong button trying to see what engineering
oh
cannabis
shoot.
was saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, because
Okay.
the thing is, right? So he's saying that it won't oversaturation won't occur because of
Right, regulation.
yeah, but the problem with that is that California state regulations already says that um, it essentially says that you can't oversaturate the market, but it's very it's very vague the way it's written in the state law. And
Well,
what
that's
I
that again. I was going to say
mhm.
again, that's state law. Once there's a national mandate. Okay, once the federal government stipulates what the regulations are, all states are going to have to adjust if adjustments need to be made, because the federal mandate overrides state mandate. So
No,
whatever the
but
Fed.
this is my issue, right? The
Mhm,
legislation is there now. The issue is enforcement, right? Because you got to look at it. These cities, like the city I'm in, is very cannabis friendly. It's also it's actually a little weird. Like
mhm,
when I'm dealing with the police, they're super friendly. They do the checks. It's very friendly. Um, Everything. It's like it's weird coming up in this industry for the past years and having to be on the low. It's weird to have a really friendly city hall, right? But
mhm.
there's a lot of dispensaries, and I'm just like, there's not that many people here. And then in the next city limits, so like, and not city, I'm not saying city as in San Diego to LA. I'm saying city as in, city limits inside a county. So the next city limits that we're touching, um, it's very like, which would be Palm Springs for me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say exactly which city limits. I mean, I'll tell you offline, but the next city limits, they have a lot of them, and they even have
Yeah.
lounges and have these things. So what's going on is it's beneficial for these cities to just let a lot of us come on and give out a lot of these licenses. It's making money for
Well,
them.
yeah, I was going to say, look, there's you have your local economies, right?
Hmm.
Then you have your county economy, then you have your state economy, and then right, you have your micro economies, your mid economies, and your macro economies. So small municipalities, depending on its constituency, the makeup of its constituency, may pass like very, very lax regulation in terms of the business. Why? Because one, the local constituency is okay with it. And then two, because they're okay with it, you may as well monetize it. You may as well tax it, and you may as well make it part of your municipal revenue stream. So,
Yeah, but see, they're raping people. They're charging
well,
you to pay the application. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, now that's a part of the cost of doing business. That's simply just the
Hmm.
cost of doing business, regardless if it was the cannabis industry. You file an LLC in California, just regardless, it's going to cost you a lot of money,
Yeah.
just regardless of what it is. So, that's what I mean. It's kind of like it's a cost of doing business. It's not cheap to get into like farming and agriculture, right?
Right.
There's a lot that you have to do in terms of permitting and you know uh, reg- registration on your tractors, insurance. Whether you've got illegal immigrants working for you or legit people and all this kind of stuff. No matter what the venue, I mean, when it comes to business, um, wait, and Ninja Cannabis is joining us right now. When it comes to that, you simply have cost of doing business. That's why I'm not going to really split hairs on whether the cities or the states are raping people and all this and that. I'd say, okay, are you trying to get in this business or what?
I think you also the problem is you're narrowing this into you're making it too narrow. The cannabis industry is going to branch out into different sectors, into the alcohol industry where you have cannabis mixed with alcohol. You're going to have edibles. You're going to have all this. So that saturation will not occur because it's going to branch out. And not only that, the regulations. Look at the example of Canada. Do you think the industry is oversaturated in Canada? No, it's not. That's just an example, and that's where it's federally legal right now. So there's no oversaturation right now, and that's just an example. That's a template. Canada.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
when you make the industry federally legal, it's just like what Engineering Cannabis says.
it branches out,
It branches out, and there's so many other sectors that then start to come online that branch into this new industry. And then
and you
what?
can,
Yeah,
yeah, and there's regulations on it. If you're gonna infuse alcohol with cannabis, That's a whole set of regulations on its own. Edibles are another set of regulations on its own. So the regulations will come out that will hinder that oversaturation. For instance, the alcohol industry is not oversaturated right now. Tobacco industry is not. So you see new alcohol beverages coming out each day, and it's not oversaturated. You see new ones, new people. So it's the same concept. There
Now,
isn't there is not going to be an oversaturated. There's going to be opportunities again, rooted opportunities into different sectors. So the goal
right.
now is just for you to corner what sector you want to go into and basically become either the main person to deliver their goods or services or information itself.
Yeah, and I would say that, for this upcoming election cycle, like I said, one of the things that I'm really keen on is cannabis legalization. That right there, in this next election cycle, I don't give a damn who's the president. It has to happen. It must happen. It has to happen
It's
for
gonna happen.
yeah, I was going to say it has to happen for industrial purposes. It has to happen for national economy purposes. Has to
And also states.
state.
Now more states are coming legalizing it. More states are legalizing, becoming more and more. New Jersey and New York are looking at legalizing the recreational part. More
Well,
states are coming into medicinal part, are allowing our medicinal part. But
well, I was going to
now,
say we've already hit critical mass in terms
yeah,
of
so we
yeah.
get into that stage where if more states come into the legalized portion of it, federally, you can at one point you can say all these states are being legalized. Are we going to throw people in jail because of? Are we going to put more money into all this? Why not just we federally legalize this stuff and have people make money from it and make industries from it and international make imports and export. And this is what's going to happen in the next 2 3 years.
Right, right. And I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that what we're doing is politically we're making sure that we're pivoted to where we can jump on this as soon as that comes online. That has to be a focal point. There has to be a focal point for us.
But the people we need to prepare before it becomes a focal point because as it comes online, people who already have big money, who in the alcohol industry, who has seen their sales drop, we automatically shift into the cannabis industry. People who are in the tobacco industry sees okay, this is a supplement that is going to replace what we already have. This cannabis product, if they put it up and say, hey, you can use cannabis product instead of tobacco, it's more safer, it's more reliable, and it gives you there are many benefits from this rather than using tobacco, which has been proven that gives you cancer. There's going to be that shift into even the tobacco industries. There's going to be a shift into the cannabis industry.
Well,
So the best time to get in this industry is before everybody
well,
has an eye on it.
I was going to say, Angelo Bryant made a comment in the chat. He says legalize means more government, and it's kind of like, okay, well, it's going to intrinsically mean more government because what it's going to mean is it's going to mean entirely new industries, and if it's going to mean entirely new industries, there's going to have to be oversight. So yeah, there's going to be more governance, but then guess what that also means?
Yeah,
More companies, more businesses, more
let's
jobs.
let's not deceive ourselves. This will always going to be highly regulated. From when it gets to, it's always going to be regulated highly because there's a stigma on this product. So
Hmm.
this is going to be highly regulated, and without regulations, you have to jump hoops. So the goal now is to are you prepared to jump those hoops to actually reach your goal into this industry? So just put that in mind. This is going to be highly regulated.
Hmm.
Your
Now,
goal now is to prepare yourself to jump those hoops.
well, I'm going to give you a textbook reason here why it is that it'll be highly regulated. So this is from CBS News. I'm not trying to like put this channel at risk of any strikes or anything, so I'm gonna post the link here. You guys can check this out. This is from CBS News. Wait. Hold on. Let me get my copy and
And
paste.
also remember, we already started having big players going into this stuff. We have Jay-Z now buying he's
Oh,
opened a own cannabis company. We have big players coming into this.
of course he did.
Jay-Z,
Of course he did,
Jay-Z,
because
yeah.
that title shit was a failure.
But he sees cannabis, and what's the best way? Cannabis and hip hop industry already go hand in hand. So why
Well,
not just use that right
well,
now to?
this is the reason why I don't understand why he just didn't do that in the first place as
Well,
to
yeah, he
kind of
jumped on.
yeah, well,
Now he can.
he tried to be a techie first, and it was just like, dude, come on.
No. So now he can basically did what he did with the brandy when he brought his own brandy and his own alcohol beverages. He can do the same thing with his cannabis. Find his own cannabis plant or
Yeah,
make his own cannabis brand.
it'll merely be a marketing and licensing thing for him at
Yeah,
this point, because his name just has way too much cachet for that not to be something that he could leverage. So that's what
yeah.
I would have thought, that he would have kind of jumped onto this before he tried to
But
become.
I think he was smart because he's waiting to see how the wave of legalization goes. But now he's seeing that it's going into where it's going to be federally legal because now all states are jumping in,
Right
and he says, "Okay,
now,
let me get
wait,
in this bandwagon and get this money."
is he in? So is this cannabis? So is that for the state of New York?
No, his own. I believe it's a national brand.
Okay, so basically, what he did was he struck like a marketing and licensing deal.
Might get
So,
a license and
right.
basically
So
get
he created what he did was he created a brand,
yeah,
and I want to illustrate this to everyone so that you can kind of understand and see how you can leverage this stuff. So basically, he created a brand on paper,
yeah.
and because of the name Cachet, licensed it.
So any products coming out from that, he basically puts his name on it and
There you
says,
go.
"Hey, okay, now I have my own. Okay, let's say edible cannabis, or I have my own roll up cannabis, or I have my own
You
any
have
kind of cannabis.
flower
Yeah,
and pre rolls,
or
and
alcohol infused cannabis
infused
or
things.
anything. Before anybody comes in, he has already niched his own place in the cannabis industry and already made millions.
Right, that's what I was going to say. All he did was he leveraged his brand cachet,
Yeah.
created a label on paper, and then
Uh-huh.
you go to a firm that essentially has a nationalized network of growers. Then
Yeah,
people have
and
to understand how this works at the current moment, because you don't
then he
have.
goes then he goes to his friends and say, "Hey, help me market this stuff.
Right,
Snoop,
right.
you
So
smoke weed, help me
no,
market this stuff.
he's going to go to his Live Nation roster.
Hey, Kanye West, take this. You
Yeah,
already smoke cannabis, help
dude,
me out."
this is integrated marketing 101. It's brilliant, actually. That's why I was kind of like, well,
It's
the thing is, again, he tried to go to. Maybe I can kind of understand the logic and the reason why you would go tech with it first, because he is dealing with music, and what he did was he went with a streaming service. Makes sense, but I'm kind of like, tech ain't your thing. However, in a lot of your rap songs, you did talk about selling drugs, so maybe you know a little something about this.
yeah, so he's basically using his hip hop background to jump. He already jumped in the alcohol industry. He was already making money based on the alcohol industry. So now he's jumping into cannabis and says, "Hey, all the people I know are probably smoking cannabis. So why not make that money with the cannabis industry?
Yeah,
And why not I set my foothold in there and say, hey." And it's the best time. Like, okay, you go into the black neighborhood and then say, "Hey, you guys smoke cannabis. You're a weed man, bro. But why not come from me? I'll give you the good cannabis, good sales and good cannabis, and it's gonna be safer. And not only that, you also can market to also the professionals. Okay, hey, you guys work, who you guys are the accountants, your tax guys, and all that. You're in the African American community. I have this luxurious brand of cannabis for you guys. So you can again. I saw this and I said, wow, this guy is going to make a killing out of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
No,
it's it's brilliant. So again, the cannabis space again is growing. Everybody's seeing where it's going to, and most people I know are jumping into it. But again, you have to know where to go into it and what you want to get from it.
yeah. I now I would say this too. Okay, Mufasa just joined us again. So, okay. I would say also to that. I just posted the link there. This was so actually there's a couple of major news outlets that actually covered this. One was CBS. That's the link I posted. Good Morning America is where I saw it initially, but there it is right there. Researchers suggest cannabis should be studied as possible treatment for COVID-19. And
News
again,
station have already said they've given government agencies already giving people saying that FDA and everybody their trials coming out for testing of cannabis and COVID-19. Their trials
right,
coming out.
that's what I
FDA, everybody is talking about it.
right, and the thing, like I said, if you go back a few months in the Brain Trust catalog, you should see I think two live streams about COVID and cannabis.
But this what I'm thinking about is this is the smartest way. So now you want to break into the industry in Africa, or you want to break into the industry in Argentina or somewhere. This is the best way to break into the cannabis industry. Saying because it already has stigma into it, we
But
wash that stigma away with, hey, this
yeah,
drug
it's
is
in COVID.
being studied for COVID. There's more benefits in health with cannabis if you start using it. So we now market it not as a cannabis plant that basically gives you a high feeling or everything, but it gives you health benefits. COVID, you can even throw in and say, okay, if it gives you COVID, what else can it do? What else do you think this? If you can basically fight COVID, there are a lot of health benefits, and you
I
start
mean,
marketing it in this way, you're breaking in an industry in every single industry
well,
in the
you
world.
literally just destroyed. Hey,
The
what's going on,
stigma.
MRT? Yeah, you literally just destroyed the stigma with one swipe of a hammer.
Once I, that's why when I was looking at FDA, I was rooting for that, saying please let the FDA approve this.
Well, I
Once
mean, but
it does that, the stigma it's over for the
as I
stigma.
say, it's gone. The stigma is
Its
completely
stigma
gone
is gone.
because once you say that it's a potential. Well, look, even if you suggest that it could
Yes,
potentially treat
Just a potential.
COVID,
Just potential.
just the
the
That's all you got to
potential
stigma
say.
is gone.
alone, the stigma is gone because you know what that tells us? That tells us that there is
A
some medicinal.
medicinal
Thank
advantage in
you,
cannabis.
thank you.
Not
So
only that, not only that, but companies would quote unquote rush into research anything about it, so that way it can stop being a Schedule One drug.
one and DOD,
Has to let that
FDA,
happen.
everybody are
Yeah,
throwing money in researching cannabis right now.
correct.
Yeah. I
So
mean, MLT, we were talking about, well, I mean, we kind of went in on a specific angle with regards to this upcoming election cycle. It kind of just centered on cannabis legalization, right? And then there was the link that I posted to CBS story about researchers suggesting that cannabis be a potential treatment for COVID. And so now we're looking at a scenario here where, damn, Mufasa dropped off again. He's having connection issues. We're looking at a possible scenario here where cannabis legalization now has to be a hot button topic. If researchers are suggesting that the medicinal qualities of cannabis could actually treat a global pandemic, that's huge.
and we remember, it's not only the pandemic. We're looking at cancer research.
Oh,
Yeah,
Um,
I mean because treatment can mean a lot of things.
yeah, but yeah, the treatment. But right now, they're stating that the treatment is going to treat the symptoms
Sure.
of the COVID-19, and also basically delay any kind of. But the research is ongoing, and
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
FDA
course.
is
Yeah,
going to pump money into it, and
yeah.
also is going to also pump money into the research of cancer. So basically, cannabis is now turning into more of an everyday drug, where people now will start looking at it as a medicinal way to basically help fight right now with different diseases. So the stigma is going to slowly wither away over time.
Yes,
Now, has
that's what I'm like.
now
Oh man,
MOT
I'm horrifically echoing on my end. Does anybody else hear that?
that
No,
that okay, I don't hear echo. Do you hear echo MOT?
no, I don't hear echo.
Okay, good enough. All right,
You got
well,
okay,
go
you good?
ahead.
Okay.
I'll just deal with it on my end. At least y'all not hearing it.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
Let me see if I'm gonna mute. Let me know if it's me.
How about? Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
I don't hear it anymore.
It might be engineering cannabis. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, they got this echo cancellation option. Let me see if that works. Start back talking again because I don't want to
Okay.
unmute.
Well, no. Okay.
All right, we're
So
good now. We're good now.
you good? Okay. So we're looking at and I'm saying like we're talking. Okay. I didn't want to kind of beat a horse with the platinum plan thing and what Biden may or may not
No,
be doing and all that kind of stuff, right? Because
no.
that
I mean, but here's
that's been discussed at length, right?
yeah, but
However,
here's the thing about the platinum plan
yeah,
and
yeah,
all of that. The people who want to benefit don't understand the process. So there's no need in talking about the platinum plan
hmm
because Trump released it before the debate. There was no discussion. Mitch McConnell was not pushing it. Nobody in the Republican Party is pushing it. It's a non-existent plan. It is
right.
flat out pandering. But we're seeing the type of people who want to be represented by Trump or Ice Cube. And I think we should just let those people play out. Because, I had something today like, oh, well, Ice Cube put out a plan. I'm like, nope. Ice Cube went out and promised something that didn't happen. And you idiots gave him credit for it. So you need to go to Ice Cube about passing that plan.
Mm.
Nobody else. What he did is he picked up a hot potato and dropped it in somebody else's lap for everybody else to go and fight on his behalf. And since we didn't show up to vote for 90-something years, now they want the actual benefit of voting for 90-something years. I'm like, that's not. He wasn't waiting till a guy who's 50-something years old and plays like he's a gangster on videotape to actually write something down for the government in order for them to be able to publish it properly. Like, that's not what that was about, you know.
Mm.
I mean, but at the end of the day, no one is pushing. Trump is not on the campaign trail pushing the platinum plan. None of these fake conservatives, the new ones that just popped up within like the last 2 weeks, or maybe even this summer, those people are not covering the Trump rallies for a reason. It's flat out embarrassing to listen to or justify why this guy deserves an extra 4 years in office.
I'm
That's
like
why
this.
the newer version of the conservatives are not covering this. And it's their guy. I mean, yeah, so.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I said, I've angled that conversation. Listen, I've been on record saying this. I'm a registered independent, right? So I'm an issue voter. Cannabis, that's a hot button topic for me. That's a big issue. Okay. And if you're telling me that the stuff can potentially treat COVID, if you're
Gotta
telling
try
me,
everything.
yeah, then you know what? Listen, the platinum plan thing. If you look at it, you break it down. Like I said, there's been plenty of discussion about it. I don't really need to talk about it.
Yeah, me neither.
What I didn't see was anything in there about full on cannabis legalization, like what that is going to look like for industry. I've heard nothing. I haven't heard anything about it from either side. Okay.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, Mike. I'm going to be naked about what I'm going to say. I don't care whether it cures COVID or not. Just legalize it. And if we can use this as an excuse to legalize it, then let's do it.
Well, you know what?
Have the research. Have the research.
And MOT, I totally understand that angle. But if you're going to also tell me though that it can potentially deal with this whole COVID issue, well, you know what that also does? it allows us to start to pivot back to some form of normalcy if we know that there's something that literally grows out of the fucking. My daughter's sitting right here. Let me watch. I'm sorry. I slipped up. My daughter's sitting right here, and I slipped, and yeah, I did not mean to say the F word. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. So the stuff grows out of the ground. Okay, it grows in abundance, and you're telling me that there's some sort of barrier, right, when it comes to bringing this country back to some form of normalcy, getting some form of normal economy going again. And there's something that grows out of the ground that could contribute to this, but we still need to maintain some sort of bureaucratic red tape. Dude,
All this is just money.
it's
Yeah,
It is money. Again, in order to maintain, even both parties, they're not going to discuss about legalization.
no, not
It's
seriously.
it's not going to be right now. Maybe in the middle of the winner's first term, maybe they might talk about it, but right now, that's an issue nobody wants to bring up. It's too volatile. But what I'll say is just look at what my vote goes into is looking at people in the Senate or the House of Rep who actually brings the bills for legalization. That's who I vote for.
Right.
The individuals who bring like the bill that was recently brought was even brought by Kamala Harris on full legalization of cannabis.
She would be the last person I would trust to bring any kind of fucking
But she
legal.
brought a bill. She
Yeah.
supported and brought a bill out for full legalization.
Okay.
Kamala Harris.
Right. And what I'm curious is there any redress within this bill, right, to deal with all the brothers that she kept in jail and used to fight fires in California over
But
weed? But I'm just hoping that there's something in this,
there's
right?
nothing we can do about that. Right now,
No,
no, no, no, no, no. There's plenty you can do about it.
no,
this
there's
I
plenty,
mean,
but the
well, like,
effects of the effects
Ohio
of
had it on the table. Like when Ohio tried their pathetic attempt at legalization, that was actually on the table with it, was getting rid of and expunging those people's records. And
no.
you know how so what they did was, but they also wanted it to be in a certain amount of number of people's hands within the state,
You can
and that's
exp-
why people didn't want to do that.
you can expunge your records, but again, the wealth transfer. People's lives were destroyed. Wealth, money, and all that were destroyed. People who are gaining the wealth right now haven't seen a jail cell ever. People who are making millions out of this product, their families haven't. None of their families have seen the jail cell. So again, that wealth transfer, again, it's excluding the African American community because of legislation, because of regulations, and
No, no,
even
no.
though
In that state.
in every state now, it's every state.
It's not every state. Like Oklahoma, you could go and you can. It's just a less of red tape to get legalization.
But again, in order to
I'm telling you.
just selling, but in order to basically establish a brand in it, remember that's just one state. To build up again, if you look at the DOD regulation on hemp,
Oh
is the
yeah,
worst
yeah.
is the worst thing you can ever see. They told you the legalization of hemp is you have to have a THC concentration of 0.08 or 2, I can't remember. But you have to have it without extraction, without processing. And
zero
that's
point
impossible.
zero 0.03.
Without You have to have it without processing, meaning naturally that plant has to have 0.03 naturally, and that's impossible.
Hell,
You
well, you
know,
know what? Apples ain't really
Wait, was
a
that
natural product. No,
say,
it's just that it
say that
has to
again,
be
Marky?
engineered. I mean, it has to be engineered through processing. So
Well,
they
you
didn't
you
give
know,
have
us
to
a rule.
engineer it, but DOD now says you can't do it.
well,
So
no, what they
they've already
do.
held a lot of people down because of that one stipulation.
Well, I was gonna say what they now from my understanding, what they'll allow you to do is that when they do sort of like the scheduled lab testing, right? What they do is they get an aggregate of all of the various plants from the same harvest. That's why you were saying, engineering cannabis, that it's impossible to engineer a plant to like grow beneath a certain
Threshold. That threshold, you can't. You have
yeah
to
you,
process it
yeah,
to
there's no
reduce that
right
concentration.
to reduce it. But if you're what you're gonna do is that you have to actually take it from the natural plant itself. What they
So,
do is they take a bunch of different samples, right, from
uh,
different plants, because sometimes the soil can be a little bit richer in one place. In another place, there was more water. In another place, there was more sunlight. So they have to get samples from the entire harvest, and it's an aggregate. And then I think they also give it a margin. So technically, the total base could test out to say like 0.032, and then they'll go ahead and let it go. Okay, but they test it across harvest, because you're absolutely right. You can't engineer those results out of just a single, or grow those results out of a singular plant. You can't control that. Uh-oh, did I lose everyone? MOT dropped off. What just happened? Okay, I think Engineer Candace may have just muted here. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what just happened there. Yes, babe. Okay, we're gonna go to lunch here in just a few. Okay. Oh, righty. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened there. MOT and Engineering Cannabis dropped off, so perhaps we have a StreamYard issue? Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not just sure what happened there. Both of them just completely cut out. I can see my audio thing kind of going there, but I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Hmm. Okay. Did the stream cut? No. Looks like it's still going. I don't see any body in the chat saying anything though. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure what just happened there. You can hear me. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, you guys hear me. All right. Well, damn. I guess it crashed or something. Yeah, you guys can hear me, but they both I couldn't hear any audio from them, and then they both dropped out. Crap. Okay. Yeah, you guys can hear me, but I'm not sure what if they can. I'm not even sure if they can rejoin. I'm not sure what's going on. That was bizarre, or that is bizarre, because it's not past tense. We're in the middle of it now. Crap. Well, okay, let's do this. My intention was to kind of get a live stream going, get a bunch of people on the panel. I have kind of like some things I got to kind of go and do. Daughter's hungry. We need to go grab lunch, and I need to just kind of do the parent thing for right now. Let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream here. It was a great discussion. I mean, we went like only 50 minutes, and I think we were kind of keying in on where cannabis legalization should factor in this next administration, whether it be okay. There's engineering cannabis. Right? Let me bring them back on. I'm gonna have to actually end this though, because I gotta go grab lunch. I kind of have to do some things here. Let me bring engineering cannabis back on. Hey, engineering, you there?
yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Did it just crash on you?
Yeah, it just crashed on me.
Okay, I figured that's what happened at MOT as well. Oh wait, hold
Uh,
on. Wait. Now I was saying here, what I was kind of hoping for was that we had a larger panel where I could kind of let the panel go and then I can step away. I got to kind of get lunch and I just forgot.
mm,
Now,
no
if I,
problem.
but I'm thinking this, I can fire up another live stream maybe later.
Yeah, I'm here. Just tell me when.
Does that work? Okay,
That'll
okay.
work. We can talk
Yeah,
about all
it,
this and also Neuralink, the new stuff with Elon Musk, how that's going to change
right.
everything.
Yeah, we could talk about the Neuralink stuff because I got that stuff in my feed as well. But it's like it's literally noon, it's lunchtime, and now
Sure.
there's yeah, kiddos up,
Oh,
and it's just
I
like
understand. I understand. No, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I was really just hoping, man, I could like get a full panel and just be like walk off and let y'all go ahead. But well, let's do this. I'm gonna try to set something up here, maybe like 4 o'clock
Take your
Pacific.
time, anytime.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, engineering cannabis. Let's circle back around a little bit later today.
All right.
All right, brother. Okay. So folks, I'm gonna go ahead and end this now and then. Hey, Miss Antisocial Socialite, how you doing? I'm gonna go ahead and end this now, and then we will pick this back up a little bit later today. I gotta get lunch and all that kind of stuff going. So I appreciate you guys for filing through, and we will be back. All right, peace.